Hello there, and welcome to Sylvia's Essentials Makeup Tips for the Blind. Back to do another cooking video. And I want to wish all of you a happy and safe Memorial Day holiday today. So in this video, I will be making a potato salad, homemade. How you can learn how to make a potato salad that's tasty. The only thing I will not be using in this recipe is boiled eggs, because of course you can put boiled eggs in potato salad and it's very delicious as well. Alright, so let's get to it. And remember, like, share, and subscribe to my video. Helps me revolve on YouTube. Okay? Really appreciate the subscribers. I'm pushing almost 100 subscribers. Well, no, sorry about that. What I meant to say is I'm pushing almost 100 videos now. Yeah, because I'm up to 111, which is actually an interesting number. That's the number of love. It is. So yeah, I have 101 subscribers now. And I'm 2 away after this one making 100 videos. So appreciate you all. Alright, so over here I have my 2 potatoes peeled. I'm going to bring them over here. Set this one here on the stove. I have a pot here which I'm going to use to boil the potato. Alright? Alright. And then here on my counters, yeah, it's not on my stove this time. I'm trying to get more organized here using my kitchen counter to chop this potato. Now in my French fry video, I did wedges. In this video, after they've been scrubbed with warm water and peeled with my potato peeler, I'm going to cut these in small cubes. Not real small cubes, but small cubes the size that you would feel when you're eating potato salad, or if you can visually see it, around that size. And then I'm going to put it in the pot here. Hands clean, been washed. So I'm going to start slicing this in the center. I'm feeling with my hands, fingers back. Always be careful in the kitchen, of course. And I'm doing this on a plate saucer. Got my trusty utility knife, I call it. That's still sharp. Gets the job done. And then I'm going to cut this in half. Being careful and aware. And I'm feeling to make sure how I'm going to do the small cubes. Okay, there may not be perfect cubes, but close enough. I hope you can see that there. And I'm feeling the cubes of what I chop as I go. So like I said, I don't want them too big, but not too small either. So just like feel like, I'd say about 1/4 of an inch. Chip style. Okay, not wedge, but chip style, where it's oval. And then I'm going to cut that in half down the center. And then depending on how big the thick chip is that you slice, you may need to cut it horizontal once or 2 times. I think I can do 2 times here. Yes. Yep, so this is the size. And still got more of the potato here. About 1/4 inch. Slice into it, horizontal. Then I'm gonna, like I said before, slice it again, horizontal. Just try to get down the center the best you can. And I'm gonna do 3 more out of this amount. Actually, should I say vertical? And I'm doing 2 potatoes here. This is towards the end of this first potato. So this is enough for 4 cubes. So I'm gonna put this in the pot using the back of my knife to scrape it down in there off the plate. Or if you're using a cutting board, just take the back of your knife and scoop it into your pot. Have my sharp part of the knife away from me. Okay, now I'm gonna grab my second potato, same thing. Cutting it in the center. Just feel where the center is before you use your knife. And then you could also use the back of your knife. Just be careful to feel where the center of the potato is. Then turn your knife around and then go from there. So let me finish up this other potato. Like I said, depending on the size of what you chopped, determines if you need to go vertical 2 times or 3 times. But I can tell you right now, the middle center of the potato should be enough to go 3 times. So horizontal down the center, and then vertical 1, 2 times across. That makes 6 pieces. Finishing up this one. This one is a little smaller, so I'm going to do 4 there. You can use the back of your finger knuckle to feel the side of the knife. Just be careful with the sharp part of the knife. Towards the end of this potato, 1/4 inch. Down the center. I think this one I can do twice, which will make 6 cubes. This one here is kind of small, so I'm just going to slice this one in half because it's kind of thin, the end of it. Let me go back, feel, make sure the slices are pretty close to each other. Because you want them close to the same size, because when you boil them, you want them to boil evenly. That's why. All right, scoop this out into my pot. I'm feeling with my non-dominant hand the back of the pot while I'm holding this to make sure where I know where the opening of my pot is. All right, so I'm gonna set this in the back of my sink for now. I do have some dishes in the back here. Sorry, remove my colander. Well, you know what? I'm gonna leave the colander there because we're gonna use that later. But the colander has been washed. All right. Let me get a paper towel here. Wipe my hands. All right. All right, so now we got the potatoes in here, and we're going to boil this now. And I'm using my water filter. I've been using that a lot more now, even when I boil my cooking. But even if you use your tap water, boiling will kill a lot of stuff that's in your tap water. Not all of it, but a lot of it. I got my index finger in the pot while I'm holding it with my non-dominant hand, the handle, so I can feel where the water level. Okay, that's good enough. That might even be a little too much water. If I was using a little more potato, but we only need so much water to boil this. Otherwise, I'll be boiling all day. Okay, so now I'm going to set this on the stove. Put this on high. And we're actually going to have to wait for the water to boil. The pot to boil. And I'm going to set this for 5 minutes just to see where we're at. I have a fork here that I'm going to use to check the potatoes during the boiling process. Maybe I should wait until I hear the water start boiling, and then I will start timing it. Making sure everything on my stove is away from the burner. I have my bowl here that I'm going to put the potatoes in later. So yeah, hope you're all having a good Memorial Day of 2025. I know some parts of the country are getting storms today. Here where I'm at, it's nice outside. It's a little warm, but it actually turned out to be weather-wise nice where I'm at. Yeah, I was at a friend's nonprofit yesterday, and it was one of the members' their birthday, and we had German chocolate cake that was really good, and I had some that was given to me to take home, and I was going to have some of that today with my meal. So what I'm going to be serving with this potato salad will be cheeseburgers, or a cheeseburger. But I'm not going to be showing that on camera, making the cheeseburger. This will be just me making a potato salad, but sometime in the future I will show you how I make a cheeseburger if you don't know how to fry one in your skillet. Okay? Got my seasonings here. Got some mustard that I will be using. Got pepper, and I got some Miracle Whip that I'll be using for this potato salad. Okay, I hear the pot starting to boil. Camera is too high. You see my seasonings. Oh, I missed some potato that got on the counter here. Let me throw that in. Counter has been wiped down. I always make sure I wipe everything down. Let me put this in my pot. Just noticed that that was there. Okay. And also, while we're waiting, I had baked some homemade sugar cookies this week. Show them to you really quick. I have them on a plate here. Turned out really good. I still got some left. Show them to you really quick. You can see that there's some coconut sugar cookies in there, and there's some sugar ones, and there's some just regular sugar cookies in there. But yeah, I baked that this week, so I'm just snacking on them as I go. I need to get me a cookie jar. I think I'm gonna order one off of Amazon next month, because I want one that I really would like to have to put my baked cookies in. So yeah, so I'm gonna work on that next month. Okay, water is starting to boil now, so I'm gonna time this for 5 minutes. Alexa, set timer for 5 minutes.
5 minutes, starting now.
Okay, I have this on high. Yeah, oh yeah, it's boiling because I can feel it by holding the handle. But I'm going to turn this down to medium high, where it's still boiling, but I mean, you could leave it on high if you want to, but I'm just going to turn it down a little bit to medium high. Okay, but it's boiling really good. Yeah, I had made me some caramel coffee, granulated coffee in the coffee maker this morning. Something special for Memorial Day. Well, I mean, I drink it besides Memorial Day, but caramel is one of my favorite flavored coffees, next to hazelnut, mocha, to name a few, and it was really good. Sometime on my channel, I would also like to show you how I make homemade lattes in my bullet blender. They are really good. I have a latte like twice a week. You can even take your fork while you're waiting and stir it around in your pot, the potatoes. Just to make sure they are not sticking together, they stay loose in your pot. Oops, splattered a little bit of water. Just to make sure the potatoes stay loose and that they boil evenly on each side. Yeah, that's my air conditioner on in the background, trying to keep the place cool. And it's always good to have your air conditioner unit on energy saver, it really makes a big difference on your power bill if you have it on energy saver. Even your heater. So I try to do that, save money on my power bill. It does help. Even though prices, like everything else, is getting more expensive, even on our bills, we gotta save when we can, where we can. So now, when I boil these potatoes, I don't want to boil them too done. I want them to stay kind of firm. Is a good tip, because we're not trying to make mashed potatoes here, which the potatoes would be more cooked, you know, for mashing. We want the potatoes to stay kind of firm. That's why I suggest you time it right after it starts boiling for 5 minutes, just so you can get a feel with your fork when you check them, if they feel kind of soft or still kind of firm. But 5 minutes should be perfect to start testing them. Okay, Alexa, stop. All right, let's check. So what I'm doing is I'm poking one, and you can kind of tell if it feels like it's still kind of firm by poking it. It feels softer. Trying to get one there. Okay, I got one. I was definitely able to poke it. So what that means is I'm gonna let this boil for another 3 minutes. If you can poke it, just another 3 minutes. Alexa, set timer for 3 minutes.
3 minutes, starting now.
And then after 3 minutes, we're gonna move on to the next step. Now, of course, depending on how many potatoes you're boiling, it may take a little bit longer for the boiling process, but I'm only boiling 2 potatoes chopped, so it's not going to take as long. It might have even really just needed maybe just 2 extra minutes, to be honest with you. Let me see how many minutes. Alexa, how many more minutes? Alexa, how many more minutes? Alexa, how many more minutes?
You have 1 minute and 50 seconds left on your 3-minute timer.
If you heard that, 1 minute and 50 some seconds. So I'm gonna actually pull these off now. So I'd say after that 5 minute, I would just boil them for 2 more minutes. So let me shut this off, reaching over, because I'm using the end front burner there. All right, I'm gonna pull these off, set this here for a second on top of this burner, just for that temperature to cool down for a little bit, okay? But what we're gonna do here in a minute is we're going to run these potatoes under the cool tap in the colander strainer. And it'll help cool the potatoes down, and it'll help rinse off some of the starch. And starch is something that's in pastas and potatoes that is I guess you could say that's kind of good to rinse off. I don't know a lot about starch, to be honest with you, but I will learn more about starch in food. I just know that it's good to rinse it off. And I believe rice has starch too, I believe. Okay. Alexa, stop. Okay. Sometimes it seems like Alexa doesn't hear you when you ask her a question, but she's still good to have. Okay, I'm going to take this pot now. I'm being very careful over to my sink. I'm going to run cool water over my colander. I'm still using my water filtration. And I'm going to pour this, be careful you don't burn your hands, into, but I'm going to rinse this pot because a lot of times the potatoes will stick inside your pot. Rinse it again. And if one does still stick in there, that's fine. You can get it out later when you're preparing your potato salad. Just want to make sure it's sticking. Okay, I'm going to rinse these under the tap a little more. Like I said, one, this will help cool down the temperature of the potato so you can prepare your potato salad, and the other reason is from starch. Just let it run under that cool water. Now the potatoes are still going to be warm a little bit from the cooking, but that's okay, because you can still prepare them when they're a little warm. But this cools it off significantly. Okay, now I'm going to tap this back in to my pot. Go back over to the stove. Now we're going to get ready to prepare this delicious potato salad. So I'm going to grab my bowl here. Got a standard size small bowl for one serving of potato salad, because this is considered one serving. Okay, I got my big spoon here that I'm going to use to mix this. Okay, so of course, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pour in my potatoes. Oops, I think one dropped on the floor. Okay, here's my spoon. Check this all out. Okay, I got them all out. Set this aside. And then the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to season this. Real simple. So I got my pink Himalayan salt that I usually use. And I'm going to pinch 3 good pinches in here. Or you could do 4, depending on how much salt you want in your potatoes for flavoring. But I'm going to do 3 because the Miracle Whip that I'm using has salt in it as well. And then now I'm going to use some black pepper. Just shake some general amount in there. Not too much, but general amount. And now I'm gonna squeeze in some yellow mustard. And how you can do this by using the squeeze bottle is by thinking of a tablespoon. If you're familiar with tablespoons, half tablespoons. Let me shake this up with my hand a little bit because this is a new bottle of mustard. Just want to make sure I got this mustard going. So I'm going to squeeze, like, if I feel how much a tablespoon may be. I'm going to do one more squeeze. Okay. And then I'm going to put in the real basic part of this potato salad, and that is your mayonnaise, or I'm using Miracle Whip. Either or. Same thing. I'm going to squeeze in, I'd say 2 squeezes, lavish squeezes. I'm going to leave this out for a minute because I may need more, but I don't think so. And now I'm going to mix all this together with my big spoon. Just mix it around. Just mix all that together. And the potatoes are still firm and not mushy, but edible. Just mix it well, that mayonnaise or Miracle Whip and that mustard and that seasoning. Just mix that in really well. Just stir it around in a circle. You want to stir and then turn the spoon upside down. Stir, turn the spoon upside down, and continue. That helps mix it together. And there we go. Homemade potato salad for the holiday. Or in this case, Memorial Day. Can't put this, sorry about that knocking, but I had to get the rest of that off my spoon. So anyways, like I said, this is good with your anything you cook for Memorial Day. Burgers, hot dogs, if you're doing ribs on the grill. Even, this would even be good with a pot roast and ham and different meals like that as well. So of course, with this potato salad, you want to chill it in the refrigerator for at least, I would say, 20 minutes so it can get cold and chilled before you serve it and eat it. So chill it for like 20 to 30 minutes before you serve it, and you have a delicious homemade potato salad. And like I said earlier, you can put boiled eggs in this as well. Very good, very good. All right, so I hope you got something out of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And please have a wonderful rest of your Memorial Day, wherever you're at out there. And I will see you on my next video. All right, you take care. And again, to everyone out there, happy Memorial Day. Good eating, okay? From my kitchen to yours.